going on? It's Bobby Strada. You're locked in to Opposing Perspectives podcast. Yo, if you ain't check it out yet, make sure you check out my album, Nothing Was Overnight. It's out on all platforms right now. I got Core on that joint. I got singles out the ass right now. I'm working on my second album that's going to be Nothing Was Overnight 2. That's in motion right now. But yeah, if you ain't tuned in yet, wake up.
Some dope things going on right now. And you got Car on the mixtape, or is it an album?
Shout out to Core. We got two tracks out right now actually.
Okay.
Nothing Was Overnight is the title of my album.
Shout it out, Nothing Was Overnight.
And that's out on all platforms right now.
Money always stacked up. Check my drip, I'm always clean. Packed up, did it try. I shot yesterday. Tried yesterday. I scoot away. I play the safe. Big dog in the yard. I don't talk, huh?
Yo, what up? It's your boy Dale, and we bringing to you Welcome Opposing Perspectives podcast. We got a dope interview we're about to get into. But before we get into the interview, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment on YouTube, Facebook, and IG. I got a dope artist. I got Bobby Strada. He has a dope song, 2 tracks actually coming out with Car. He has a video out right now, visuals. He's like a hidden gem you guys don't know about. I've seen him perform at Craig's Beats on the Beat. He is awesome. Thank you, Bobby, for coming out.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate you.
Nah, man. This is dope having you here, bro.
It was a long time coming, right? Yeah. We had this in the works.
For a long time. Yeah, I talked to you, back in June. I said, yo, I want to get you on your pod. Let me get your information. We here in January.
Yeah, that's what's up. It's all good. We here. That's all that matters.
No, I'm glad, man. I saw your visuals, man. I'm like, yo, I got to hurry up and get him on. He's definitely hustling and working. Like, that video was dope. But before we get into the video, man, I want to ask, who is Bobby Strada?
All right, man. Well, I'm originally from South Philly.
Okay.
Parents moved me to Jersey, and I fought that shit, bro. I didn't want to move out of the city.
Oh man, no.
And it was at a time where I just started getting friends, right? And I'm looking up. I think my parents probably peeped it because my grandfather, God rest his soul, he had a construction company, right? So he did all brick fronts in South Philly. He was known for that.
Oh.
My dad worked for him, right? And then I would go to work with him. And I didn't want to do that shit, bro. I wanted the money, but I didn't want to do that line of work.
Yeah.
So I would be inspired by the hip hop culture. When I say that, I mean the guys on the corner with the jewelry and the cars, they had the females.
I got you.
So they probably witnessed me kind of gravitating towards that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And so when they moved me to Jersey, I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to go to Jersey. I'm thinking I'm gonna live on a farm or something, bro. So yeah, I got that. I don't know, but any chance I got, I would run back to the city. My family would still be there, or I'd be, still talking to females that live there, and basically So I rep South Philly, right? Okay. I rep Philadelphia, but I stay in Jersey now. You know what I mean? And so I tend to fall in between, all right, but.
So how you liking Jersey now since you didn't want to?
I like it. You know what I mean?
Do you like it? Or do you love it?
No, I don't love it. But I ain't gonna hold you. Anytime I've lived at a lot of different places, bro, and we'll get into why. Mm. But I would live in all these different cities. I spent a little bit of time down in Florida, and whenever I was down there, I wanted to come back up here.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I feel this Northeast as a whole, this is where I'm from. This is where I need to be.
So going back to the Northeast, and the Northeast is where you started your musical journey.
Right.
You said it started actually at 10, 11 on a karaoke
10, 11
machine?
years old, yeah, on a karaoke machine, man. Shout my boy Chuck, Fisher Media Group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know him, but he's been my supporter and always pushed me to keep doing this music because he's seen I had a passion for it at a young age, man. I don't know, back in the day, like it was hard to get an instrumental, like an industry beat instrumental, bro. You had to get like the single CDs, right? I'm an 80s baby, so I got some years on me, bro. But like they would sell the single and it would have the track on there and it had the instrumental on there. Okay. So we would throw that joint on the radio and had the microphone link to it, and I would just write my lyrics in the notepad. And like that's what I did at 10, 11 years old, bro. Like, and I always had a love for it, like just hip hop as a whole, bro. And like, you know, I love Tupac, Biggie, like that whole era, that New York, you know, rap from the 90s was like what I came up on.
So you would be out battling?
Yeah, I mean, messing around though. Like, see, I never took it serious. It was kind of just like, you know, and especially like I'm an Italian dude, so people look at me like, oh, you're a white rapper. You know what I'm saying? And like I would have these fear, I wouldn't say fears, but like, you know, you almost look at it like the friends you're hanging around, they ain't into that same stuff where they're looking at you like, really, bro, you're gonna rap. You know what I mean? But then when they would hear me, or like when we'd be like, you know, when I would drink or smoke weed and just start freestyling or start rapping, you know, they'd be like, damn, that was kind of hot. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's dope. So,
yeah.
What made you want to take it serious to the point where you're now like you financially invested in yourself?
It took a long time, bro. So like to fast forward from that little kid that would love hip hop, you know, in the high school years of, you know, like early 2000s, man, that era of like state property. And like I came up off like that DVD era. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where dudes are in the streets, shout the tour over the streets. He would just record dudes spitting, right? So you see the Joey Jihad, Reed Dollars, Meek Mills, that's even like all them dudes, bro. That's what made me want to like take it serious and start writing again. So there was like long periods where I just wasn't writing. I wasn't recording no music because I was never in a real studio. I would just do like random freestyles and random just raw shit, right? So
that's probably why you gifted now.
But in early 2000s, right? Like my boy Mack, shout to Mack, he had a whole setup in his room, right? Just like a cheap Best Buy microphone and linked it to the computer monitor, and we would make music off that.
Wow.
And back then you're burning a CD and you're handing them out in high school, you know what I'm saying? That's how you got your name out there. And then we would, you know, like start making noise in different high schools. It was just for the fun though, and I would only do it if I was drinking or smoking weed. So I never like was like, yeah, like I'm gonna take this serious. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a music video. I'm gonna make an album. Like we had a mixtape put together, but it was just, you know, random other industry beats. It was never original beats. So that was like a thing too. We didn't have like producers or anything like that. It was just all industry beats that people knew.
Wow.
So getting back into it later on, you know, that's what I did. That was like my niche where I'm like, I'm going to make a remix to this song. Okay. Whenever I would hear a beat on the radio or something like that, all right, I got something for that. It took a long time for me to like become like, you know, my own artist. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it too was like talking about the same stuff. You know what I mean? But that's what hip hop is. We glorify smoking, drinking, you know, females, all that, just popping shit. That's what hip hop is, bro. Like a competitive sport, but like basically at the end of the day, you know, then like the drill shit took over and all that.
Man, yeah, that's
but it's like
killing everyone right now.
Yeah, but so, you know, that's what hip hop turned to. But then, like, you know, when I went through a lot of things in my life, like real life stuff, I started putting that in my music, and I noticed like a lot of the artists that I would listen to. Like Beanie Siegel is like one of my favorite artists, partly because he's from South Philly. But at the end of the day, he don't give you just the same kind of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll give you some substance, right? Yeah. So I always listen to artists like that.
And that versatile who can switch it up.
Exactly.
Because you gotta be able to touch different demographics, and different people.
So I always love like that deeper lane. You know what I'm saying? Where it's more like soulful, right?
Conscious, right?
Yeah. And so I started putting, you know, my life situations in the music, and that's what started grabbing other people that don't even listen to rap. And like, yo, that was hot.
That's what inspires you.
Yeah, that's like, oh, you know what? All right, let me like try to like get more honest with it instead of just talking about, you know, I got a rollie on my wrist that's gonna blind you, and I really ain't got no fucking rollie. You feel me? Like, so it was like, let me stop talking about the same shit everybody else is and like get in a little bit of a different lane.
So yeah, no, that's dope. So, you say that, networking is not your strong suit.
Network's not. No, it's not, man.
But it seems like you got a decent following. You got a fan base. Like you can get people out to a venue.
Yeah. I do got a decent fan base.
Can you elaborate, like,
especially for not networking?
So how did you build that? Can you tell us?
Instagram. Wait, so it would be Instagram, right? And it would be either my boy Dan, shout out to my boy Dan, he lives out in Texas now.
Shout out Dan, Texas.
Or my girl, and I'd be like, here. I'd give him my phone, I'd be in the car, and I'd put a beat on. That's how I did it, bro. Like, no studio shit, no like cosigns, no nothing, right?
Let the work speak for itself.
And it was just all, because like I said, I love that DVD era, so I'm like, I'm gonna be in your face with a live video, and that's what I'm gonna pump, right? Now, the downfall of that though is you only go so far as doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never stop doing that, but I can't have my work just be on other people's beats, like I said, or just live videos, right? Yeah. So like, you gotta hit all aspects in order to grow in this situation. Like, so it's like, all right, I need to start locking in with people who got a studio, right? I need to start reaching out and doing features with people, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And then, once again, shout out to Fisher Media Group. He had the cameras and all that stuff and is nice with the editing. So he's like, yo, I'll shoot the videos. And that's like been my man since back in the day. We got years in, bro. And he was always like that one that would say, bro, come on, like let's get in the studio, bro. You got to do this, do that. Yeah, bro. It's like, so like having those positive people in my life, and like shout to In-House and Company. When I met them, right? Kid Pay on engineering, A Rule on mix and mastering. It was like, all right, cool. I got somebody for everything, and now we can do this shit as a team. You know what I mean? And have those people push me, because sometimes, bro, I don't feel like doing it. You know what I mean?
But it seemed like you just so talented, and all you really had to do was just spit your best, and then the work spoke for himself. There it goes for you people who are out there rapping and are going so far. I don't know, but people gonna recognize if you're nice or not. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
People gonna reach out.
Yeah, when you see the people start sharing the stuff, bro, and like having names of rappers that like I grew up to, that I like look up to, commenting on it, sharing it, liking it, starting to follow me, and it's like, damn, man, like holy shit, like I never would have thought that like Beans would have saw my video. I never would have thought that Jada Kiss would have liked this video. You know what I mean? And it was all from people around here sharing it, just on their stories and all that, reposting it, things like that.
The transition a little bit, I want to elaborate. We talked about briefly before we started the interview, you had some struggles throughout,
your
journey. And you're sober. You want to elaborate and tell us about those struggles that you had?
Yeah. So God willing, I'll be 7 years sober next month.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, so it was a struggle, bro. Like, and like I said, when those points of like where I wasn't doing music or I didn't care about music, it was mostly because I was so consumed in that whole street life, right? And when I say that lifestyle, I mean selling, using drugs, and just being out there, right?
Wow.
And like, I never ever would have thought that I would have went down the roads that I went down, bro. Like I said, I would look up to like dudes on the corner, or like, that mob lifestyle, right? Like I wanted that so bad and I chased it. And then, what that brought for me, thank God it didn't bring like jail time for me, but it brought a nasty ass habit, bro. And like when I say that, it's like I came up on that pill epidemic, right? So I'm smoking weed and drinking all the time. It was just a weekend thing, and we would go to house parties, a regular teenager, right? And then I started getting into hustling and things like that. I caught a little charge. I get put on probation. Long story short, perks are everywhere, and that's what everybody wanted, right? So perks were always around me. 10s, then it got into the 15s, the 30s. And I had this smart idea, like any addict would, where I'm like, damn, I can't smoke weed. It stays in my system, this long, and I got to take drug tests. Yeah. So I started experimenting with taking Percocets. And, I say this all the time, like in hip hop nowadays, especially, and like even when Future first came out and all that, like hip hop glorifies that now, popping pills. It just became like a thing, you know what I'm saying? Where like our era growing up, it was all about smoking weed, drinking, and getting money and hustling. And now it turned to like, right, now it's all about popping perks, popping Molly, this, that, right? And at that time, I didn't see nothing because I was living like that too. So, but mind you, half these rappers probably ain't really even doing it. They're just saying it to be cool. Or, you know, some people can just drink, smoke on the weekends once in a while, right? Or some people I've even seen be able to pop pills and be able to stop. You know what I mean? Every single person's different, and it took me years to realize that because I would try to stop and I wasn't able to. So like I had this crazy habit, and like I said, you know, they were always around, so it wasn't a money issue. I had money. Yeah. The most money I've ever touched was when I was in those darkest times. You feel me? Like, where I felt like I was successful. I got a picture. I know you know Asia Sparks, right? I got a picture of her flyer when she came out. This was like when she dropped her album, like what, 2012, 2011-ish. So my man came through and gave me the CD and the flyer, right? And at that time, I just remember that because the picture, he took a picture of me holding it up for promo, right? And I was like probably 120 pounds, right? Like not eating, just running, bro, right? And if you would have asked me, I would have told you I was successful. You know what I mean? I had the nice truck. I always had the sneakers, right? Always a pocket full of money, right? So like I felt on top of the world at that time. And then when I look back at that, I was so far from that. You know what I'm saying? Because on the inside, I was so broken. And I didn't know I had this mean problem, right?
So when did you realize that you had this mean problem? Like how did you?
When the money ran out.
Oh.
That was my first bottom. So I hit a bottom like that where I'm like, I don't have no money, right? And I'm hooked on these things every day. I need that, or I'm gonna get sick. And I never would be able to admit it. I used to be embarrassed of it. Where I used to be like, damn, I ain't no fiend. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler. Like I get money. You know, and it was like a hidden thing where like I feel like nowadays more people are a little more open about it, or they had a loved one go through it or know somebody that went through it. But I was like ashamed to admit that like, yo, I can't stop this on my own. I need help. That was the hardest 3 words to say was I need help. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a man, I'm gonna figure this out. I've got through other things, I'll get through this, right? Where I just thought it was a phase. So, but yeah, so like the money runs out, you know, then I'm doing things I never thought that I would do for money. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I'm stealing from my own family. I'm stealing from people I don't know. You know, burning people or you know, basically just doing grimy shit that I'm not like that's not like me, bro. Like I grew up with morals. I grew up like from a good family. You know what I'm saying? And I let that lifestyle of the streets take over, and I thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like this is like something that when I got honest about it, that's when my life changed, and that's why like I put it in my music, and that's why I'm so like transparent about it today. Because there is somebody out there that probably has that problem, went through it, can relate, whatever the case may be.
What keeps you? You know, you're 7 years strong. What you know? Some people try. You know, they go ahead, they go through a rehab or a process, and you know they revert back.
Right.
What has kept you from reverting back?
Helping other people and being around people that been in my shoes. And I never, you know, would have thought that was the way. You know what I'm saying? I've been to so many rehabs, right? And like I said, I spent some time down in Florida. Oh, wow. So years ago, 2014 was the first time my family knew about it. Everybody around me knew something was up with me, right? Like I said, I'm 120 pounds and I ain't living right. Yeah. You ain't seeing me for days, months, whatever. You try to call me, I ain't answering. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of turned my back on my family and friends and people who cared about me, right? Wow. And just to be with people who I thought were my friends, but they're just out there doing the same shit I'm doing. And that's not real relationships, you know what I'm saying? So I would go to rehab and I'm thinking like, all right, you know, I'll go there for 2 weeks to 30 days, whatever. It's usually what it is. Yeah. And I'll get out and I'll be fine, right? I'll be good. And I noticed that like you said, people were reverting back to it. I came to realize like the drugs isn't really the problem. Like it's me, right? So why do I feel like I had to come to a conclusion, like, why do I feel like I always need a drink or a drug? There's something up with me to feel like I can't go here, there. I can't have fun. I can't have a relationship unless I'm on something, right?
Yeah.
So I started seeing that. So like when I would get out of these treatment centers, I'm thinking I'm good. I could just smoke. I could still drink. And like I said, like this is me. Every person's different. When I would try to do that, right, it wasn't cutting it. It wasn't cutting it. Like something goes off in me where I need to do that all the time. I want to feel like this 24/7.
What made you feel good about yourself then now? Like, is it just the helping other people and sharing knowledge helps, or?
Yeah, it was the honesty was the key of it, man.
Wow.
It's like admitting my defeat, admitting that this brought me to my knees and it's going to kill me.
Wow.
Because I've, you know, after that 2014 little bit of realizing, like getting some knowledge about addiction, right? And like why I tick this way, right? Why I am this way.
Information is always key.
Yeah. I would get that knowledge and then I would go try to experiment again a little bit. Like, all right, I know what I got to do now. I'm good. And then falling right back into that same bottom, right?
Yeah.
So what this was doing was like killing my spirit. So what I talked about, like when the first time I hit a bottom was like the money thing. It ain't even the money anymore now. Cause it's like, all right, I could get money. I always get money, right? It was a spiritual thing where like, I feel broke. I could have a pocket full of money and still feel like shit. Why? Something's missing. You know what I mean? Like I got this hole inside of me, like this void inside of me. What's wrong with me, right? So listening to other people at these, you know, in these groups and in these therapies and things like that I was embarrassed to talk about or do or think I don't need, right? They would give me some info like, yo, well, maybe you need to try this. Maybe you need to do this. When I was so spiritually broken to where it was like, I'm going to die or I'm going to do this, I just listened to other people. So, you know, when I started like following what they wanted me to do, told me, listen, this is how I did it. If you're like me, then you're probably going to need to do this.
So you listen to someone who's been through your shoes.
And that's when I noticed, like, I got to keep these people close to me that been through it. And that was the only way I was able to, like, you know, I couldn't get like a solid 2-3 months sober, bro.
Wow.
I couldn't do it.
Well, I want to commend you on that and shout you out, man. That's dope. And
thank you.
Thank you for sharing because, you know, your story can definitely be a testament to others. But on the other note, you know, I want to get back to, you know, you got some dope things going on right now. And, you know, you got Kerr on the mixtape, or is it that album?
Shout to Kerr. So we got two tracks out right now, actually.
Okay.
Nothing Was Overnight is the title of my album.
Shout it out. Nothing Was Overnight. Make sure
and that's out on all platforms right now.
Let's go.
So how that came about though was, you know, I was working on my album, selected all the beats and everything. That originally was going to be my intro, and it kind of still is, but it's the first track on the album. Okay. And it's the title of the album, right? As soon as I played that drum for him, he's like, oh, that's it. We're doing this.
So who came up with the beat? You picked the beat out?
I had the beat. Shout to Buckroll Beats. He produced a lot of my joints. So yeah, I mean, basically, like I reached out to him. He started following me and seeing like a lot of my live videos. So every year when I got back into music, it was probably like when I had like 2 years sober, when I had the confidence to like step out and start talking about my life, right? I did a video for my 3 years sober, just a live video to the Meek Mill Heaven or Hell beat, right? And that John started taking off. And then so every year now it's like a thing. Every time I celebrate a year of sobriety, I do a live freestyle. Yeah. But then what that turned to now that I'm in the studio and got my own beats is now that I was able to do I did a Beanie Siegel Feel It in the Air beat for my 4 years, right? Okay. And yeah,
I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, so I had shout to Uptown on the beat. He remixed the beat for me. Okay. And basically like, you know, redid it. And so that's what I've been starting to do now, where like I'll do when I celebrate a year, I'll actually lock it in the studio, put it on wax, because bro, it's time to start making a little bit of money off this shit now. You feel me? And I lacked that also, the business aspect of it. I didn't know how to put the stuff on the platforms. I didn't know nothing about this music industry. You feel me? I just know how to get a beat, rap on it, and put it out there. You know what I mean? And there's a business side to it that I needed to start learning. You feel me? So I just actually dropped my 6 years as a single. That's a Wishing on a Star beat. Shout to Kid Pay and they remade that beat for me.
Okay.
Put that sample in there. You know what I mean? I love doing sample beats. So I got 7 years coming soon, so I'm working on that joint now.
When is your 7 years coming?
It's February 24th.
Oh, so like 4 weeks. Expect that another freestyle.
John's a month away.
Yeah, that's coming out. Yeah. Let's go.
But then what I'll do, so I gotta stick to my roots, bro, is I gotta still do the live videos.
Okay.
The Car Freestyles is my shit. That's what got the noise up. That's what got me. Everybody wants to see that shit.
Do a versus of Car Freestyles.
That'd be hard, right?
There's a lot of stuff going on. I should never said that. Somebody's gonna take my idea.
I know, right?
No, that's dope. So you have the Cur album. So let's talk about the process. Let's get more detail. Right. So you reached out to him on Instagram.
Yeah, I reached out to him. Bro, I was expecting. I send some beats through. Yeah. Usually that's the process, right? Or he'd be like, all right, I'll do the verse, I'll send through, send me some bread, da-da-da, right? It was nothing like that. He must have he was following me, so he locked in and played some of my shit.
Yeah.
And was like, yo, I record here, set up the day, pull up. It was like that, bro. And I'm like, oh,
so how long did it take you to set that day to go?
Oh, I was there in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, a week and a half, something like that. I pulled up dolo, bro, by myself. I didn't even tell that many people about it because I was so still like, damn, this shit really about to happen.
Why'd you go by yourself?
I just felt, I don't know. That's how I roll, bro.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. Second time I rolled with a crew, but I don't know. I just got in the car and fucking went. I didn't think too much about it. I went there with the beats I had. I didn't want to blow his studio up. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't want to roll in there with a carload deep.
So
I know. I mean, that's what we do regularly. You know what I mean?
So what's it like?
But I almost feel like I didn't want to block my blessing.
So
that's
true.
Like I didn't tell nobody shit.
Everybody can't go
until I went there, experienced that shit, and he probably was like, "Damn, this dude just pulled up dolo. Like, fuck it." Because it is what it is, bro. Like I was like, if this is this meant to be, it is, it's going to happen. I played him my intro beat that I had. And this John, he was like, oh, I'm on this. Let's do this.
That's dope.
So we made that track right there. And then, he was even willing to shoot the video for it. So I came back with a camera crew. I don't know if you know Raw Rob from Camden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he wound up shooting that John. We went out there, shot the video. And then, I played him some more beats. He's like, yo, I'm gonna do another track, yo.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, Rob needs to get back into them videos too. He said he was going to get back into it. But yeah, so
I've never met him personally. I've just known him from Instagram and everything and his work. And yeah, I've seen him post and he's not editing now.
I don't know. Something went down with his camera. He didn't have his camera, and life shows up, bro. I understand.
Yeah,
but he gotta get back on that shit.
No, that's.
But anyway, so I rolled up there with him. It was like my boy Fisher Media Group, family and life. Like I said, life shows up in family and all that. I wanted him to shoot it for me, but I needed somebody right away. It was like an on the spot thing. Like, yo, come out here. I need to shoot this video. I got a track with Core. Okay. So he jumped right on it. We rolled out there, and then he wound up jumping on another song for me that I had done. So it was already locked in on the album. So I said, you know what? If you want to get on this, bro, I'll drop it as a remix.
Okay.
So I kept that joint in the tuck for a little while, and then I just released it. In September, I released that track, Burberry Prince remix.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. All right.
We got Nothing Was Overnight. I got with him, and then Burberry Prince remix.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what are your plans for like future performances and marketing?
I'm working.
Now you're understanding the business of it.
Yeah, I'm understanding the business of it. I'm working on. I'm going to drop Nothing Was Overnight too.
Okay.
Do it as like a compilation, and like what I did with that first one, I wind up, like I said, I did my 4 years and 5 years on an actual beat. I was able to monetize it and all that. Okay. So I threw that on the tail end of my album, almost like bonus tracks kind of thing. Like they were out already, but I threw them on there. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Throw the 6 and 7 on there because it's such a process making an album, picking the beats, getting the time to lock in the studio, get it mixed and mastered. Then you gotta shoot the videos. So my man Fisher Media Group shot every other video that I did as far as for my first project. So hopefully we'll do the same thing with that. I mean, I'll drop Nothing Was Overnight too and do as many visuals as possible.
And also like you're a working man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I fought that 9-to-5 life. I fought getting a job and things like that, right? Getting my CDL, like, I hate to say it, but that shit saved my life.
How? And you're doing this music. Like,
yeah, it's a lot, bro. I'm in a relationship. I got a stepdaughter. Like, I juggle a lot of shit. That's why, like we were saying earlier, like some days, bro, you'd be like, fuck this shit. I don't feel like doing it. You know, if it wasn't for the people in my life today that kind of like push me when I'm feeling like, man, I don't feel like doing this.
It's some dark days, though.
Yeah. And if you know how it is, that's why I named my album Nothing Was Overnight, because it's that falls in every avenue of life where like, if I don't start seeing some paper after like a little bit, I'm ready to chalk it up. Let's move to the next adventure.
Yeah.
You feel me? But you ever see them Johns? It was like a meme. It always makes me think of that, where like when I was saying like the memes of the dude digging for the gems. Mm-hmm. And there's the one dude that just kept digging and he winds up hitting it. And then there's the other dude that like is walking away from it, but he was that far away from striking that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't chalk this shit up no more, bro. Like this is this is what I'm doing. It's easy to just go into something else and like, you know, because like I said, we want that money right now.
Nah, that's real.
I need that shit yesterday, bro. Where that bag at? But this music shit takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like we think people blew overnight when we see them take off, but then you start getting some history on them and like, damn, they were doing that shit for like 10, 20 years.
Like DMX?
Yeah.
For a long time before they took him.
Right.
You know Porter Rich?
Yeah.
So Porter, he's actually coming here afterwards. I got
dope. That's dope. You know what's crazy? Let me touch on that real quick. He probably might not remember me, but so people don't know this, but I used to cut hair too.
Oh, okay.
Right? I used to work in a barbershop. And
that's why you're drawing so sharp right now.
Yeah, I do my own shit. I stopped cutting hair though. Like I stopped cutting other people because like I said, it's too much, bro. Like with cutting hair, you can't pick who you want to cut and pick the times you want to cut. It ain't like that, bro. It's like hustling. People want that cut when they want that cut. You gotta be available. Yeah. So I had to, you know, I stopped doing that shit. When I got my CDL, I just locked into to driving trucks in my free time. I try to do the music shit and you know, like I said, I'm in a relationship. But the Porter Rich shit, the dude I was working with at the barbershop, shout to Herb, he was doing photography on the side. He's from Camden. Yeah.
She swear you know everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's my man though, bro. That's my man. So he was doing photography on the side, right? Yeah. So he'd be going to different events when he was leaving the shop. And he knew how much of a Beanie Siegel fan I was, right? So he was doing a show at it was called the Elegante at the time. Mm-hmm. And he took me out there. And that's when I met Porter Rich. Big Lou was out there.
Oh yeah.
Apollo, like all them dudes, and then Beans was the opening act. Oh, so that was when I first got put on to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some stories we got about that event that's coming up next. Big Lou's kind of hated him on the city right now. So
see, I'm going back. When was this? Like 2012?
Oh yeah,
it was like Night of the Booth Bullies. That shit was called, man. Yeah. But yeah, so and timestamp that year I just said, I was a lost cause, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was deep in my shit, like, you know, just a lost little kid.
Nah, Porter, he had gave me, you know, I gotta shout out Porter. Porter, you know, he's a big reason why I'm even a part of, like, you know, what's going on with Sons of Sin. We interviewed him back in June. We didn't even know anything about the movie, and he told us about the movie. Yeah. And we went to go see it. Since then, we just been on board with everything they've been doing.
Yeah, he definitely seems like a solid dude.
He shows love. So, you know, he said, you know, I see you moving. You know, that's how he talk. But I see you moving.
Yeah.
And you hustling, you everywhere. He was like, now the difference is can you sustain that over a few years? That's really the difference between people who make it and people who don't. The
consistency. Exactly.
So we just gotta, like you said, we just gotta keep going.
Hell yeah, man. Consistency is the way.
Yeah, no, that's real. We're gonna take a quick pause real quick, all right? Man.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Hey, quick check-in with the world, man. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, man, Kansas City's own Porter Rich. We here, we on set, something special, man. I ain't gonna talk too much. I can't tell y'all too much, but what I can tell y'all is Sons of Sin SOS is out right now. on Amazon Prime. Y'all need to go press play. Y'all need to go support. Put your eyes on that. It's coming to more platforms soon. So make sure you stay tuned. But don't stop. It don't stop. So you don't stop. Keep supporting. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You see, we not stopping. Shout out to my lawyer over there, man. I'm in a tight situation, but I got my attorney with me. So stay tuned. Y'all gonna see what's happening. Sons of Sin, SOS, press play.
The street lifestyle might seem attractive, but most time it leads to chaos and destruction. This is a Camden story, North to be exact.
I've been talking to Big Shot. We gonna furnish whatever we buy. They got the best coke out right now. You ready for that mission?
Hell yeah. Just wish I knew more about it, though. They going in there strapped for war, man. This shit's serious.
We gonna do more than just trap, you know?
Man, give me everything, man.
What the fuck? What the fuck happened? Got him!
Niggas respect the big guns. It's an intimidation factor, you feel me?
The main rule with this shit right here is you rather get caught with these motherfuckers than get caught without them.
Some wild cowboy shit, man.
So y'all motherfuckers causing havoc out in the streets, huh?
Look, man, Taino sent us. You know, to see if you want to get down with this thing of ours.
Why Taino didn't come, man? We 20 years in. Should make it happen, man. Fuck them Camden niggas, you know? You know, it's always a green light.
Hey, listen, man, we got something on line for you, man. You up for it?
Who it is?
All your friends is dead. What, you trying to be the next one?
I done came a long way from being broke. Just to know these streets ain't never give us hope. Thank God I was born with the hustling and stay solid through the shit that broke the mother niggas.
All right, we're back. We're back with Bobby Strada. But before we close out, we want to give Bobby a couple chances to shout out a few people that we both actually know.
Yeah, first off, I'm gonna shout Craig Lynch out. I gotta shout Craig Lynch out.
Shout out Craig. Come on, Craig.
Yeah. Well, because when it comes down to the networking thing, like my man's locked in with that shit. I respect his hustle. I've met a lot of people through doing them shows.
Yeah.
You know,
he hustles.
Yeah, shout to J Dot too. So I got tracks with all them. I've been working on a lot of features, obviously too, working on this album. Like that shit's in motion now.
So yeah, let's go back with Craig. I love Craig to death. He gets on my damn nerves sometimes. But you see a lot of people through Craig. So how did you meet Craig?
I first met Craig back in the day, like through Leggy, if you know Leggy.
I don't know. Leggy.
Yeah, so I met him. He was like doing a lot of music with him. Mm-hmm. So I met him then, but then, basically it was just through the music shit. He would always reach out to me and let me know about these shows and stuff.
Okay.
And he got me on when he had them shows in Camden, the Beat Battles. Yeah. Where was that joint on King Ave, I think it was.
Yeah.
He did an interview. It was like the Kennel podcast, John.
Yeah.
He did an interview of me. I did a live freestyle, John, performed a couple tracks. And since then, like I've met, like Uptown on the Beat. I met a lot of people.
Like Uptown on the Beat.
Yeah. Dre Artist. Yeah. All them dudes, bro.
Dre Artist. I'm a big fan of his too.
Yeah, he's dope. For real. He's working too.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of South Jersey dudes working right now.
No, we got
I'm seeing that shit.
Got to.
Yeah.
It's a movement. It's definitely a movement.
Yeah.
Coming along.
I want to say I got a track on my album with BOA Fendi. He's from Camden. He's locked up right now, so free BOA Fendi.
Okay.
I'm about to drop a single with my man Danger Zone. That track's done. I got a snippet on my Instagram of that. But yeah, bro, I've been in my bag, and like as far as the networking, like that's why I've been trying to get like locked in with features and shit like that, because that's the way to go. Yeah. Feel like one hand wash the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of tracks. I did a couple tracks with Craig and J Dot.
Okay. No,
I got a joint with Craig that's going to be on his album coming out.
Okay.
If anybody knows me, bro, you know, not too many people live by this, but like usually like when I do a feature with somebody, bro, I'll market that shit like it's my track.
That's dope.
That's just me.
Should.
Not everybody does that.
Supposed to do that.
So yeah, I'm definitely trying to lock in with a lot of different artists and shit.
Nah, that's dope.
Coming up.
That's dope. Well, listen, we're gonna close out. Is there anybody else you want to shout out before we close out?
Shit, shout out to Fisher Media Group, shout out to In-House and Company, for always believing in me and shit. That's about it, man.
And you want to say, when's your album release? Shout out your album, or when's that coming out?
Nothing Was Overnight 2. I don't have a date on it yet.
Okay.
It's a process. But I'm gonna be dropping singles out the ass. I just dropped my 6 years official track. That's on all platforms too. In my 7 years, God willing, next month I'm gonna have a live freestyle for that, and I'll have an official single for that.
Hey, shout out Bobby Strada. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, make sure y'all tune into him. He's on IG, Facebook at Bobby Strada.
Instagram Strada 215.
Strada 215.
YouTube Strada 215.
You on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube,
all that, yeah.
SoundCloud, everything.
Yep.
Okay. All right, that's dope. That's dope. Well, listen, that wraps up our episode of Opposing Perspectives podcast. I'm your host, Sedale. Make sure you tune into us. Follow us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok. All right, if you have the app on TikTok, all right. Don't
shit, that, right? Nah.
That was dope.
Money always stacked up. Check my drip, I'm always clean. Packed up, did it try. I shot yesterday. Tried yesterday. I scoot away. I play the safe. Big dog in the yard. I don't talk.